What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Dudes Who Bet Daily. Just me to start the show today. Magic will be here pretty soon. He's stuck in traffic. Papa Dude is moving, so we've kind of got a makeshift crew here for the opening show of the day. Big day, though, for us, as everybody knows that follows Racing Dudes, follows the YouTube channel. We got this show coming up. We're having a full show here. Don't worry. Then we've got Blinkers Off coming up at noon, so that'll be right after this one, basically. Then we've got Dudes Who Bet Sports at 2, and these are all Central Times, by the way, and then the Magic Mike Show at 4. So a lot going on. We'll kick it off here. I'll go ahead and get it going. I don't think Magic really wants to talk about the football games too much. So we'll start with those. I'll give you my thoughts, kind of give you what Papa Dude was thinking on these games as well. So let's kick it off. This as the sun comes out and blinds me. The Giants and the 49ers are going to kick us off tonight. Thursday Night Football, week 3 of the NFL season kicks off here. Giants are 1-1. They got a kind of I guess it's a good win. Any win's a good win, right? After you get beat 40-0 opening weekend to the Cowboys. Went to Arizona. They looked like they were in big trouble. They did come back to win. So they're 1-1. 49ers, they kind of look like the best team in the league after just 2 weeks. They're 2-0. 10.5-point favorites, though, probably an accurate spread, right? I would think, even though 10.5 is a lot of points in the NFL, you look at these two teams, it definitely favors the 49ers tonight. They just have looked good in about every phase. Add to the fact Saquon Barkley is out tonight for the Giants. That's not a good sign either. I thought Daniel Jones really woke up. The offensive line really woke up in the second half of that Arizona game, but it was Arizona. They're kind of regarded as the worst team in the league by a lot of people. So I think the 49ers cover tonight. I know 10.5 is a lot of points. So total sitting there at 44. I think that's an interesting one. I think that comes down to how many points you think the Giants are going to score, right? You got to think the 49ers are going to get into the 30s. And it's just, can the Giants do their part of it? I think this goes over. I think it's going to be like a 30-17 type of game, but I think it'll be right at the number. So I would go over. I would go the 49ers, in what should be kind of a snoozer. Now, if you like football and you don't really care about the logos on the chest, I think Georgia State at Coastal Carolina tonight is a pretty good game. The Chanticleers -6.5. That's who Rob N likes tonight. Here's the deal, Rob. And if you remember, 1 year ago, right here on this show, the Chanticleers were 2-point favorites at Georgia State last year. And they were my best bet 1 year ago today. Unbelievably. They played on Thursday night as well last year. The Chanticleers took care of them last year at Georgia State, beat them 41-24. Now, things are different this year, though, as Georgia State was 0-3 last year coming into that game. They're 3-0 this year coming into the game. Haven't played much, though. Rhode Island, Connecticut, Charlotte, but still good. 3 good wins for Georgia State. The Chanticleers are 2-1. Their only loss, though, came at UCLA. They played them closer than anybody, 27-13. Pretty good game out in UCLA. Chanticleers played pretty well. Give me Coastal. I'm with you. It's up to -7 now. Rob, if we can find that at -6.5 again, that would be great. Give me Coastal. I think they get it done here. I think they're a much better team. And listen, I think this Coastal Carolina team, one of the better kind of mid-majors or whatever you want to call, that division down there. So I think they're going to be pretty solid again tonight. So give me Coastal. Also, Rob says under that 62. Yeah, total there 62.5 is what I last saw, but 62.5, right around there, whichever book you're looking at. I don't know. I lean the under as well, Rob. I think this is going to be, it's tough to get to 62.5. I think, you look at that UCLA game where the score was 27-13, holding UCLA down to 27 points makes me think Coastal can do pretty similar things to Georgia State tonight. I don't think Coastal scores just a ton, so I would lean under that 72 as well. One last question before we get on to the baseball game. Shoddy asks, what the heck is a Chanticleer? A rooster or a musical ensemble? I don't know. I don't know what a Chanticleer is. I think it's by their mascot, by their logo. I think it's a rooster for Coastal Carolina. So there you go. So all right, Rob, going to shout out at Bet365. You're still getting that 6.5. If you can find 6.5, obviously I don't need to say this, but if you can find it, shop for it, find it, get 6.5 instead of 7. That could make the difference. I mean, I don't think this is a total blowout type of game. I think Georgia State keeps it close. I think that half point could be vital for this game tonight. So we'll see how that one goes. We'll go one baseball game here tonight. Going to be a pretty good one. The Blue Jays and the Yankees. It's an interesting game because the Blue Jays need to really win. They're in a battle for that wild card spot with the Rangers and the Mariners. Everybody's real tight in that wild card spot and in the AL West as well. The Blue Jays, you look at it and say, hey, the Yankees don't have a lot to play for. They should win. But Garrett Cole on the mound against Jose Barrios, boy, it's going to be tough. The Yankees have played a heck of a lot better since they kind of fell out of it. They brought up a lot of young kids. They've played better. They've got Cole on the mound. They're the favorites in this game. That's the only bad thing. I'm going to take the plus money with the Jays because, hey, they're plus money. They need to win this game. I think they'll solve Cole just enough to get it done. I'm going to go with the Blue Jays in this one, plus with the plus money price. Total sitting there at 7. I would go over it. I think eventually this thing goes over. You may have to wait it out 7, 8, 9 innings. Obviously, could be a little bit sketchy on getting over that 7, but I think eventually it will. So give me the Blue Jays and the over. Before we move on to the best bets and the race of the day, as I stall for Magic, he wants to be here for the race of the day. Carter Amrod asks, who wins in a fight, a Billiken or a Chanticleer? My money's on the Rooster over the Alien. I don't know. I think the Billiken looks tough, Car. And I know just from talking to you in the past, you're a St. Louis guy, or you're definitely a St. Louis Blues fan at least. And I don't know. I think that Billiken looks tough. I think the Billiken is he's all smiles, right? I think if you made him mad, I think he could get feisty. So give me the Billiken over the Chanticleer there. So that would be interesting. Thanks, Carr, for the little bit of entertainment here. All right. Well, we'll kind of do this backwards as I wait for Magic. I'll go ahead and give Papa Dude's best bet and my best bet, and then we'll kind of wait. I think Magic will come on here for the race of the day and his. All right, let's go to Papa Dudes because Rob mentioned this as well. Rob saying he's going to take the Brewers minus a run and a half and the over 10.5 today, plus 480. Papa Dude kept it a little more simpler than that, Rob. He went with the Brewers minus 105. Miley on the mound for the Brewers versus Mikolas for the Cardinals. This makes a lot of sense. Cardinals are out of it, nothing to play for. Brewers pretty much have got the NL Central wrapped up, barring a total collapse, but still, you want to get that thing done. You want to get it locked up. They could take another step towards that today. So he's going to go with the Brewers. I think the price is right for this one, minus 105. That seems like a very logical play to get the Brewers home here. They are in St. Louis. St. Louis is never an easy place to go in and win a game, except for this year. They've really been bad, just 33-44 at home there in St. Louis. So he's going to go the Brewers minus the 105. See if he can get the job done. See if he can kick us off with a win. I'm going to go to horse racing. I'm going to go to Horseshoe Indianapolis. Race 3 is where I'll go to today there at Horseshoe Indianapolis. It is an allowance race going 1 mile on the turf here. I'm going to go the number 2 Backyard Justice on top. We saw this horse, by the way, Indiana breds, forgot to mention that. We saw this horse in the same type of race going 1 mile and a 16th last time out. Got to the lead, just could not quite hold on, got beat a half length. However, we have seen this horse run very well at this circuit on the turf. 4 races on the turf here at Horseshoe Indianapolis, a win in 3 seconds, and those seconds have been very close. I think this horse is probably best when he's actually not on the lead, and I don't think he's going to be on it. I think he can kind of sit on the rail, kind of stalk, sit in second or third, not be too far out of it, but sit close and then kind of get him down the stretch. I think he'll get a similar trip today that he got 4 races back when he broke his maiden right here at Horseshoe Indianapolis by a half length. So I think he makes all the sense in the world today. I think he can get the job done. So give me the 2 Backyard Justice as my best bet there from Horseshoe Indianapolis. One last thing. He's for Indiana bred caliber races. He's taking on some decent horses. This is not a bad program there at Indiana Grand. I almost did it. I almost went the whole time without calling it Indiana Grand. It's not a bad program there at Horseshoe Indianapolis. I think he has taken on some good ones. This field, I don't think is great. The second choice is Scenic Justice. Took a long time to get the maiden broke. Did do it last time out though, but it took 12 starts. I'm not sure how good that horse is. The 7 Killer Hot Rod, probably better on the dirt than the turf. So it's another thing of there's not a ton of turf class in this race that's going to be taking on the 2 Backyard Justice today. So I think you'll get it done. I think 3 definitely looks to be the big time, threat in this race. All right. So that's Papa Dudes. That's mine. Still no magic. We'll see what happens here. We'll talk a little bit. We'll get through some comments here. The old school Billiken was pretty stout. So yeah, they did kind of change. They changed it up a couple of times there at the University of St. Louis. And yeah, if you didn't know what we're talking about, a Billiken, that is the mascot at St. Louis. So St. Louis University. So go look up Billiken. He's a scary guy. I think I wouldn't want to meet a Billiken in a dark alley car. I just wouldn't. Bysock says, looks like everyone is on San Fran tonight. Yeah, it definitely seems to be the case. And I don't really blame them. It's hard. I guess if you're going to play plus 10.5 with the Giants, I mean, you can make a case. It's the NFL. It's hard to win by more than 10. But it just does seem like everything kind of does favor the 49ers tonight. All right, it's time for the race of the day because Magic is here. Magic,
Hi.
Listen to this. I've done everything but your best bet in the race of the day.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Are you proud of me?
All right. I'm proud of you. Congratulations. I mean, you've been live for 12 minutes here now and all by yourself. I know that's not easy to do, especially when it's sports talk like this. All right, let's talk about Churchill Downs Race 7. Tell us about it, Aaron.
All right, Churchill Downs Race 7, where we're going. Listen, I kind of preferred it when I was by myself. Now that you're here, honestly. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, see ya.
All right, let's go to Churchill Downs Race 7 today. We're on the dirt allowance race here. $134,000 the purse. I thought this was a mess. It's a field of 13, but the 6 and the 12 have scratched. So a field of 11. Magic, what do you think about this race here at Churchill?
I don't like Dallas Stewart at a short price, but I do like the 5 Promise Keeper. I think this horse is going to sit. Good stalking trip, probably right off of the 2. Tyler Gaffleone won 11 races at Churchill Downs in the opening weekend, or last weekend. Dude's on fire, like just absolutely on fire. He had 5 in one day. The all-time record for a single day at Churchill is 7. So he's riding impressively well. I think this horse will be suited for this 2-turn mile and 16th distance, coming back from mile and 8th in the last 2 spots. So, formerly with Todd Pletcher, they gave him the old snippety snip and sent him to the old Dallas and see what he can do here.
Well, he has not been good with old Dallas. He has lost. Last time I saw Promise Keeper live and in person, he lost by 30 1/4 lengths in the Cornhuskers. So
listen, he was no match for Ain't Life Grand, and I think we could all agree on that right now. He's not of that caliber. But 2 back at the allowance level where he's back at right now, he lost by a neck.
You're right. This is a horrible race. There's just so many.
Well, why did you pick it?
Because it's a fun race to talk about, but there are just some bad horses in this race today. Just no matter how you look at it. So much so that I almost put the number 13 Speed Bias in front, Magic. But the deal is, it doesn't matter if he runs in a stakes or if he runs an allowance. He just can't finish it. He cannot finish the deal. He's tried and tried and tried. He just cannot get it done. He cannot finish the deal. He might today, though. He looks like he could be a tough in the spot. I like the 13. I couldn't put him on top. I went with another horse that I think, new trainer, and this will be the first time with a new trainer. Number 11, Galt, for me on top. I like this horse here. Switching from Bill Mott over to Pablo Lobo today. Christian Torres gets them out. Very good, solid jockey. Look, I just think, maybe Lobo can get something out of him. We're changing trainers. We're trying something new. A lot of these horses we've seen get beat over and over. Maybe Galt steps up and runs a little bit better race today. So I like the 11. I like the 13. And I do like the 9 Mass Parade as well. All right. Any final thoughts, Magic?
Question for you. Who is Galt's full older sibling?
I know this because you've told me, but I cannot remember who it is.
Hall of Fame mare. She won the distaff, not Beholder, at Songbird. This is Songbird's full younger brother.
Really?
Medaglia d'Oro by Ivana Vinalot. Yep.
It seems like to me you've told me that at least 3 times, and I
remember the dam's name. It's one of those ones with all the Ivana Vinalot that you try to figure out what the hell it actually says.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So,
do you remember Ivan? Do you remember Ivan Volanoff a lot?
Yes, I do. That was a fun sprinter, right? Wasn't he a sprinter?
Yes. Yeah. Sprinter on the Remington, Oaklawn, Prairie Meadows. He may have went down to Lone Star. He'd been a lot of places.
Yeah.
He was fun. He was a lot of fun. I liked him. All right. Well, let's get to your best bet, Magic.
Yeah. It was, but I ended up going with Nick Bosa over half sack. So basically, yes or no, will Nick Bosa get a sack was plus 100. I was like, I think that's a great one. The Giants are in a total disarray here. I thought about playing the line, but I don't know what it's at right now, Aaron. It seems like it was just going to keep floating up and up. What was it when you talked about it?
It's 10.5 right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think 10 was the line. That was the limit for me, and I had a good guess that I wasn't going to get 10 anymore on that. So with this case, Nick Bosa in his career, he hasn't gone sackless in back-to-back games since 2021, and it has happened so far the first two games this season. So you would expect that he will, regress to the mean, which means he should be able to get a sack here. The Giants aren't going to have left tackle Andrew Thomas for the game. The offensive line's already kind of a mess. You expect that the Giants are it's not going to be a good night for the Giants. This feels like a really ugly game to watch unless you're either a sadist or you're a fan of the 49ers. So, yeah. I'm going to go. To me, it made sense. Like, yes or no, is Nick Bosa going to get a sack? You look at how the two teams match up. To me, it just made sense. I don't know. You follow football more than I do, but to me, this just was a no-brainer almost.
The way the offensive line's played for the Giants, this feels good. This feels really good. Yeah, I think he should do it. The offensive line, as much as I don't like Daniel Jones, I don't think he's a elite quarterback. He hasn't had a lot of help. The offensive line's been pretty bad. So I think this feels good. Also, no Saquon Barkley in the game, which means I think the Giants will pass a little bit more than they would have. That's going to help you out as well. I don't think he needs help, but that will help you out as well. So Bosa over 0.5 sacks. We'll see if
the only concern, and I don't think it happens. The only concern is that San Fran goes up like 30-0 at halftime, and they just decide to start sitting people. And then it's like, well, if I'm only playing with half of the game, then I don't like this bet at plus 100. I need it like plus 250 then.
Yeah, I think that's a logical thing to say. I'm kind of with you. I don't think that's how it will go, but I wouldn't be shocked either. So that could be, that could be kind of the downfall there. But I think if they're up 30-0, that means he's got a couple sacks. So
you'd
look
hope.
at it that way, maybe. I don't know. All right. Best bets. Let's get to a Magic. It's been a short show for you, boy. I think you're at your best with this kind of time. I think you're doing good there. All right, we'll get to it. I'm going to go Horseshoe Indianapolis, race 3, number 2. Backyard Justice. I think he is going to be pretty tough. Magic's going to go Bosa over 0.5 sacks at plus 100. Papa Dude's going to go the Brewers minus 105. So Brewers like minus 105. Hey, Car Ramrod. This was the other horse I had wrote down to put as the best bet today. Ooh. So I'll mention it. Car Ramrod said race 8 at Remington. Nice neighbor. Will be a short price. And that was kind of my worry. I think the horse will be a pretty short price. But that Remington Park race 8 today, the number 6, Nice Neighbor. If the horse is too short of a price to play a win, maybe you pair him up in an exacta, somebody else you like. I like that horse as well. That's a good call out. Remington, really good card. Starts the week starts today, not yesterday, because the Oklahoma Derby is Sunday. All right.
What time are you guys, your shows today?
Here we go. Blinkers off. 35 minutes away. 35 minutes away. Blinkers off. We will be talking about that Oklahoma Derby that I mentioned. Of course, the Pennsylvania Derby also coming up as well. So we'll talk about that. Dudes You Bet Sports, 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Papa Dude will be here for that one. We're talking NFL week 3. We're calling college football week 4. We're going to talk about Lincoln Riley. And I've got a burning question to ask at the end of the show. So that's a jam-packed show. Magic, what are you guys doing?
What happened to Lincoln Riley?
Well, you have to listen to the show.
Oh, there's a tease. We're doing Remington Park Sunday.
No, you're not.
Yes, we are. Santa Anita doesn't start until next week. Mike doesn't want to touch Horse Killer Downs. He doesn't want to touch juiced up parks. And Backwood Doctor's just kind of like, meh. So we're like, you know what? The people in the chat were going nuts for it, asking. So
I really want to be on the show now. I'm going to be on the show. I'm going to show up.
Okay.
That's my track, man. Gosh. All right. Well, looks like I'm doing 4 shows today. Wait, what time are you guys starting? 4 o'clock?
4 Central, 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific.
Okay, I'm going to be on for 25 minutes. I have to leave it by 4:30. So
okay,
I'm coming on though.
Cool.
You can't do Remington Park and not have me on.
You're welcome to if you want.
Well, I guess I am the boss.
I guess kind of give commentary on our picks although our shows have been pretty short lately, so we might get done before you have to get out of there.
That would be great. We'll see.
You want to know what being on a short show is like, Aaron?
I would love to know that. All right, time to go. All right, we got to get out of here because I've got shows coming up, guys. Listen, thanks, everybody. Magic, you made my day hard, but then you made my day great by doing Remington Park. So win is what I'm going to call it. All right, guys, that's the best bets. That's the show for today. We got a lot going on. Thank you, everybody, for watching this one. We'll be back for a shit ton more throughout the day. So we'll see you guys later.